Okay,
Oh,
here we
great
go.
matchup. Great matchup
Ari and
here.
Max. Yeah, these are two very, very strong expert players. Arie Sinke, 4-1 with a massive spread. How has he gotten 600 spread points here? That's pretty amazing. But Max Panitch, also a longtime expert. This is very, very likely to be a excellent game here between these two players. All right, Ari going first. What's he got here? Some good scoring tiles.
Oh, blank comes down on the bottom though.
That's true.
That's
That
nice.
oh, not just one.
Oh my God. Oh wow. That's
Do you ever get
I
disappointed when you see the two of them come out at once, Emmett?
I
The blanks.
100%. It's a disappointment, especially at the starting of the game. If you've got two blanks, you really want to be able to score big with the first one and then bingo with the second one if you can. But honestly, I'm not going to be complaining about having a free bingo to start the game and depriving my opponent of the blanks for the rest of the game.
From that resource denial element where you see both of them and you know that your opponent is not getting them, that does
Yeah.
feel pretty good.
He makes the play of Talak instead of playing what I thought was a pretty simple play, or at least what I would have played is walk, just WALK. What do
That's
you think
far
is
too normal of a
the
word, Emmett.
calculus there?
What kind of jamoke is playing the word walk when you could play to
Yeah,
lack
yeah.
instead? No, totally. That's absolutely worth strong consideration there to play just the simple word WALK walk. And the benefit of that would simply be you get rid of your two weakest bingo tiles, two good scoring tiles, but the rest of your letters are kind of guiding you towards a bingo as
Yeah.
opposed to scoring. So I like the idea also to lock, placing that I underneath a double letter score.
Hmm.
Walk can be played in a much more defensive fashion. So I think those plays are pretty close to even just because Talak does get you a good chunk of extra points. He's
He goes
playing
quickly.
really, really fast. I'm surprised by this because with two blanks, I would definitely be taking some time to look through that A of Talak and see if I could hit the double word scores in both directions there.
And
A
he's
play in that
missing a
spot.
couple there.
Yeah, play there would score 86. This scores 80, which is nothing to sneeze at. And I'm pretty sure he's calling these blanks an R and a P for the record for tripodic. Ari is going to have to return fire after that 80-point bingo for Max to start the game. He's got some good scoring tiles, no bingos available. I would be trying to see if I could at least use my W here. That would be priority one if
Mm.
I'm Ari holding those nice bingo tiles. So,
He is taking quite a bit of time. Okay, and there goes down what is the best equity play in the situation of muled, which is something that I would expect Ari to find 600% of the time. So not a surprise there from him.
I don't know. I mean, it's tempting though to try to make a play that keeps more of your bingo tiles
It's
together, and
true.
certainly to try to keep an E, that all powerful E. So many open letters on this board. I would have considered playing Maw here under the A and K of Talak. With so many open tiles to play through, you're gonna bingo way more often than you will after muled. But let's see what Max can do. He might play.
And
He's got an M and a W of his own. In fact,
so I mean he can I mean Wimp is very, very big for him here. It's like 40 points, I think, at least. With that tricky two-letter word of MM that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be good.
oh man.
Um, but yeah. Oh wow. And
Oh,
I think he missed it.
He's played Meow, which is a solid play for sure, scoring
I think
38. But I'm agreeing with you, Emmett. I do like
that's a
Wimp
miss right
here.
there. Look, it's not a huge miss. It's only like a 7 point. 7 points is actually at this level pretty big. But look, it's not going to kill his game or anything. But I would have much rather seen Max play Wimp there. But it's not the end of the world. There are
So
also, and I'm assuming you just didn't see Wimp, but there's also pretty big defensive ramifications to playing Meow because with Wimp you're sticking two consonants there. It's going to, and especially with MM, I don't think there's any front hooks to that. Now, I mean, he just created a
To
space that's pretty easy to hit with an A or an E or even an O. And yeah, draft is going to come down for like 30 or something in that spot. So
yeah,
um, turns
pretty
out to be a pretty big
damaging.
swing.
Yeah, with all those 6 consonants and the lone vowel, Arie is able to score quite nicely, 32 points at this level. That's probably an average
Pretty.
score for Arie with a rack that is slightly below average, and that is,
Yep.
part of the drawback of Meow is allowing plays like that to go down, as you indicate. So nicely done to Arie.
For a moment, it looked like he was considering playing Petunia to the A, just blowing up his rack, but I think he realized that that's not in his best interests here.
Yeah, a similar. I mean, those similar letters. If you wanted, we are in Canada after all. I feel like
Poutine, yeah,
poutine is
totally.
almost. I feel like Max, as a Canadian himself, is almost obligated to play poutine here. All right, no poutine, no petunia. Instead, just Muni in the lower corner. I don't hate that play, Emmett.
Yeah, I also don't hate that. I mean, he's got a relatively good rack, especially with I mean, there's a number of vowels that are maybe not necessarily floating, but not terrible to play through. So yeah, it's pretty good, and the analyzer likes it too. Wow, oh my God, non-lives. That's such a beautiful play, if it's good, which I think it is.
It is, and that's an epic play by Arie. This is just so nice. Non-lives through the O. So non-life, you might be looking at that and saying, "What the heck?" But that is a valid play as in our dictionary. Phenomenal job by Arie to see that and slap that down confidently. And Max clearly untroubled. He knows that's a word too. At this level, these guys know a ton of words. That's, I mean, that we can't overstate that enough. Max, okay, Max makes his play. Looks like he's just played FEH, the F and the H, those two 4-point letters. You don't see a lot of bingos with those two letters
Yeah.
together. So players often like to play words like this to get a little closer to those bingos.
Oh, okay. So he's going to play Gazars, I think, instead of what I would perceive to be maybe a slightly stronger play of Zags hooking FEH, but it's really it's tough. I just like, when you play Zags, you've got that RAT synergy that you're leaving on your rack, which is pretty strong, even though it's like the same score. So I don't know. It's definitely arguable, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
I'm thinking about it, and my gut instinct is that I agree with you, Emmett, that I do prefer playing Zags at the lower part of the board. Wow, I didn't actually see that
Penitent.
there was. I saw on Max's rack that he would potentially have that word, but I missed that T of draft. But Max has
Yeah,
not missed it, and a beautiful play by him to work his way back into the game with a bingo. Nicely played.
very impressive from him. I think we probably will see Ari caching his own Z out in space there with something. We were talking about these ITZY words. He's got a couple. He could play ditzy or glitzy. Um, so
Ooh,
that's what I would
good.
expect to see from him.
I
Is
agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
the reason you would go with glitzy here is simply even ignoring any considerations about which of those letters are better than the others. I think if I'm already here, you've got those 6 consonants or whatever, 5 consonants, 1 vowel and a Y, which is somewhere in between. You want to use as many tiles as you can to try to draw some vowels on a future turn, and glitzy is the best way to do that, using
yeah,
1 extra tile over Ditzy. So I do expect Arie to play Glitzy, retake that lead. Meanwhile, Max drawing some good scoring tiles, but he will be saddled with a Q. And I think,
unfortunate.
we say it a lot at this level of Scrabble that the Q is really seen as more of an albatross than a useful tile. So Q is going to be Max's top priority next turn.
And luckily for him, there's right now there's a couple spots where you can just cash the queue for look, there's a 22 spot and a 21 spot, and there's no play that Ari's going to make that's going to block both of those. So he's going to be able to do kind of like as nice as you can do with the queue in a lot of situations, which is cash it for 20 points and cut your losses. If that's a decision he makes, he does have Oryx lined up on his rack. I'm not seeing a spot for that currently, but I could be missing something.
No, I don't think
Um,
so. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I think he's probably lining it up in the
there we
hopes
go.
of
Right.
something coming open for him.
Oh my
But
God! Wait. Oh my God!
and
Wait. It is open. It gets
it
opened.
that's insane.
That's
The Y
unbelievable.
the Y of Glitzy has now made it
Oh my God!
possible for Oryx to go down for a massive score. And I wonder if
And
Max
Max can't
is
believe his luck. There's no way. That's unbelievable right
I
here.
got to assume, yeah, he has it lined up on his rack. The only way he's missing this massive X bomb of a play is if he just doesn't sort of open his mind to the possibility that he could actually play it here. But I fully expect, yeah, I feel like he just picked
God.
up the O, the R, the X. I feel like this massive X bomb is coming down here. He could play Onyx if he wants
And
to in the same spot too. But or oh, sorry, he can't. He doesn't have an N.
oh
Oh,
wow. Okay, is that a I think that's a
oh.
miss. Yeah?
So
That's a
this is just man. I have to assume it's a miss. Maybe he'll spot it next turn, but I worry a lot that Arie is gonna maybe he'll man, he's probably gonna play Jube alongside
Yeah.
Penitent. And that big spot at the top of the board is going to stay open for
Let's
Max to
see if he can
potentially
hit
see
it.
Oryx next turn. Yeah.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God. Let's see if Max spots it. I feel like
Sure.
now with that cue off of the rack, he's going to get another chance to spot it. And that cue is kind of distracting, right? You can
It
tunnel
really
vision
is.
on. I need to play my cue, and you aren't even going to consider sometimes other plays. But this gives Max another chance. Of course, Arie with a very nice play of Jube parallel to Penitent for 40 points. That's, I feel, clearly the right idea for him here. But now it's the moment of truth. Is Max going to spot this play of Oryx, which really jumps his winning chances up quite a bit here? 60 points would be huge to vault him back into the lead. He's got to spot it, I think.
Oh
Oh, man.
no.
There it
And
goes.
there's
Okay.
I mean,
That
look.
hurts.
Gosh,
It's a
gosh, that
big
is so
swing.
rough.
Big swing. So instead of being up, 20-ish points, Max plays off that. He draws the O again.
Oh
So
my
he
God! Wait, do you see what's held on Ari's rack? He's holding dipshit, I believe. Just clean out the bag. It
yeah,
doesn't play, but
true.
it's still amazing.
Oh man,
Um,
that's true. The good find, Emmett. That
Thank you.
is a pretty, yeah, that would be, and there it is. Thank you, Arie. So so Arie
That was
has
wonderful.
he clearly has spotted it. You can see he lined that word up just to sort of, woe is me. I wish I could play this. There is no spot on the board for that word. Unfortunately, that would have been
Unfortunately.
a certified classic Scrabble Twitch moment if we
Oh,
could see that
100%.
word. Max played off his O and drew another one. So he's going to potentially have a third
It's
chance unless, I don't know. I mean, at this point, Arie might be electing to play something like Tidy or Pity or something to the
mm.
Y of Blitzy.
Okay,
Oh,
so
look
he
at
does
this.
play hips. That's quite interesting. It's
Given that this play scores 27 points compared to, for example, 23 points for Pity, to the Y of Glitzy, I feel like you might have wanted to save that S. This play of hips gives absolutely nothing back to
oh my
Max.
God. And he doesn't even find it. He plays in the spot, but for the third turn in a
Wow.
row.
Max had another turn to play there, and instead he plays Doxy, which that is a huge swing here. My regret from Ari's POV is, first of all, that he has Deviant on his rack and
Right,
can't
and it's not
play.
going to
So he's
play.
gone from dipshit to Deviant here. So we're really covering the full spectrum of of non-lives, right? Sorry. I'll stop. But yeah, I would love to use that V in the upper corner, but it doesn't seem like that's possible given the overlaps that are available for him. Yeah, the
Um,
play that was made was simply
ta-
ATT, making tax, and this is a genius play, Emmett. He is setting up
wow.
the case N for Agon, Agon. There
Oh
were
my
no
God.
well, I guess there was a G, so maybe there would have been a chance of a play with a Gog being on Max's rack, but that's not that likely. And if Max does not have the G, which he doesn't, Arie is setting up plays going down with a Gon that I just feel like that is an excellent job by him to score well. Scored 30 points in that spot, but also to preserve the
Wow.
triple lane as a lane that greatly favors him. Even just DENI is going to score a
Yep.
boatload of points with Taxi there. And Max is in trouble. I wonder what he's going to do. He has to try to make some space.
But this
Um,
is, well, I mean, I'm sure you can attest. For me, this is one of the most frustrating situations to be in. Is you're stuck with all 1 point tiles, and there's no way to score big with them. It's it almost feels like kind of like you're in the doldrums.
I actually don't mind this play of Crate. It occurs to me, though, that maybe if Max wanted to, he could have used his U and played Arcuate under there with multiple U's to come. And there goes Denny, as we noted for Arie. That's going to score a very large number of points up there, 38. That feels pretty insurmountable. In these situations, in Max's shoes, sometimes you got to make a move that is a little bit off the beaten path, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes might not be that top equity move that we were talking about before. Ruin,
Interesting.
interesting. What is we both said we both
Yeah.
reacted very similarly. What's the plan here? I don't know how
Gosh.
I don't see how Max is going to use that. Okay, there we go. So this is correct from Arie's POV. This is what he's seeing. So basically, Arie is looking at that S and saying to himself, well, maybe Max has that S and he can use it to play something through the R.
He may just play it safe and play something simple through the R, like, I don't know, Bravo or something along those lines, which I believe still wins just because of how much he's already up by.
And very, very nice. Emmett, you spotted this as an
Great.
idea.
Yeah.
This is an Emmett approved play of
Thank
Bravo.
you. And yeah,
We
this is
like
this is the safe play.
because you see
That's
over goes
awesome.
down for Max. He's thinking about what he can do with the rest of his letters next turn. Looks like Arie plays case down in the lower corner of the board. That seems like a reasonable choice. Max has to be careful he's not going to go overtime. That might have been partly why Arie played his move very fast,
So
just
fast, yeah.
pushing. If he can push Max into an overtime scenario, which it certainly looks like he's about to, that's going to be
Nope.
an up.
So fast.
Ooh, okay.
Calculates
So,
quickly.
okay.
And
So
here's what's going to happen. I think Ari's going to play one tile. Um,
that would be
and
very, that would be very cutthroat.
okay, he's
Uh,
not going to do it. That
He
sucks.
could,
But
right? It actually, mathematically, it would have been better for Arie to play just SIR through the Eye of Penitent, making Jubes, right? That would have
yep,
been 18 points. Either way, would have potentially worked out better. Um,
grab those extra 10
uh,
points of spread.
yeah, get the extra 10, but you can see Arie Sinke coming out on top in this game